I wanna see the light.
Here we go then. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. Round number 7 is about to get underway, and to take you through the action, it's Stress and Zacubus.
Loading in with one of our top 3. Bizzle is who we're watching for the start of round 7, the final round of solos action here at the ESL Katowice Royale. Imagine we're going to follow a lot of our top 3 in the early game. I made this request because it is such an important factor to be following the absolute points leaders. As we said, without a real upset in the beginning of the game, it's these 3 guys that are most likely to take home the victory royale for the entire tournament. And look at this Vinny gift to begin it.
Oh man, finding a llama straight off the bat. Vinny in a great position in second place right now, and that is going to help that mat game completely. Also, you never know what you're going to get out of it. You could get a Rift to go, you could get a launch pad, you're set. You find that llama, that has put you in a really good position. And
Bizzle's also in a good position as well. We've seen him win the early game around Dusty so often that really now is only him and Demo landing in that area and nobody else. Everybody else is just saying, oh, we're just going to back away. And they end up getting so much loot from the early game because no one's fighting them there. Meanwhile, over at Paradise, oh, the actual double elimination and nobody comes out ahead. The ramp and look to try and get himself any sight that he can. He's trying to just peek over the top. Envy, there's an armor in the open, and Envy does go down to 72 hours.
Very nicely played there from 72 hours, just holding that high ground for as long as he needed, checking all the angles. I love how he turned his back, obviously using every angle to expose his opponent there. Very nicely done, and cleans it up very easily, and he's going to be happy jumping into the volcano.
I need anything I can get here and just back away.
Yeah, maybe he'll re-engage, maybe, perhaps. We got into the cornfield here, and this is where Dementus has disappeared, playing it slow. Has to be careful, he's got no man stress. Big damage, no shotgun. Far could have messed that up.
Far over the top, though, that's where he's trying to look for. Far down to 11 health. If he can get just that one shot, he's only got the tack, though, so it's going to take a little bit more there. The building coming down, and Dementos trying to just pickaxe his way all the way through this. He knows he's already got the lead. The third party is Aspect, picks up the elimination for himself and just runs away. Aspect's like, I'm out here, guys. See ya. Who we're watching with no explosives. 8 shotgun shells should be enough to take this fight, and it is. Edit through the top and easy pickings.
Nice clean pump shotgun to the face there, wraps it up nicely. We switch over to Zeke and History in Paradise Palms, and things are really kicking off here, Stress.
Yeah, Zeke is going to try and replace that wall and get the edit, but he's not quite able to get it in time. Klinger through the roof. Kling, kling, kling. And Zeke is trying to pick up the elimination. Not to be for now. How many clingers did he have? 6 from this exchange. Just trying to put the pressure down onto History.
Unfortunately, Zeke made a little bit of a fatal mistake there. He underestimated the strength of the roof. Natural roof tiling like that is about 500 HP, and of course the clingers couldn't go through it in time.
Razaru, is he caught? There's more clingers coming out from Ares, and Ares was one of the players we were watching, currently in 8th place. He needs 63 points to catch up, and Rover by football. Ares will pick it up. That's 5 points on the board, building towards.
Yeah, I mean, he does what he needs to do, and we're going back for that replay, the clinger.
The double elimination off the clinger. Post-elimination.
At 72 hours, picking up that lovely, lovely frag onto Envy there as well.
I'm expecting the mid-game perhaps to be a little bit slower, as this was one of Aiden's pickoffs by the looks of it. Did manage to get one for himself. I'm expecting this to be a little bit slower of a mid-game, because it's the last game, the last opportunity to pick up placement points.
It's really hard to avoid those farts, Stress, and they keep coming. They keep on coming. It's just, oh, the smell lingers for ages.
Rizat in a lot of danger now as he gets clipped from the side. Has a few bandages, so we'll be able to heal that up. But now Smeef maybe is in a situation where he's the one that can put some damage out in response. But this is the slower mid-game. This is what we're expecting. 69 players remain in this game, and we are at Storm 2 out of 9 that is moving.
Yep. Smeef in a precarious situation here. He really wants to put this campfire down, and that's going to attract enemies to this location. They're going to know that he's low. Rizat has taken the sign. Maybe he's going to make a move with the pickaxe here, try and hack in his way. But he has to be careful of Smeef on the other side of this building as well.
Smeef knows he's coming in, and Smeef has shields. Like, that's the one thing that Rizat can't underestimate, is if this shot doesn't connect flush and just insta-eliminate, Rizart is going to feel the pain from Smeef, because Smeef, that campfire has basically expired now. So we're onto a replace fight, gets the window, but a ramp in response. There's the spray down, does get another shot from the pump, tries the pyramid, and that's what we were talking about. Rizart takes the fight and ends up falling completely out at 69th place between himself and Margin to end up taking first place. He put up a big performance in game number 2 and has been consistent throughout. I mean, it's doable, right? It's doable for Kinstar. He's one of the people that we said could catch with the right game.
It's really interesting. This is the strongest performance in a while that we've seen from Kinstar in solos.
He's just being annoying, really, more than anything with that cannon, breaking through the boundary, the walls as much as he can.
Alpha was just tagging away there at via Linen there. Just trying to find some damage, but not really getting anything out of it apart from just wasting his AR ammo.
Aim Hero, you can see on the bottom side of your screen as well. Another one of our Victory Royale winners earlier today. Aim Hero is going to join in on the fun and try and put as much towards Shinken as he can. Track it down in that action feed and say, okay, have I seen them score? What do I need to do? Because even if I win and they're second place, I have to beat them on points.
I honestly don't think he's even worried about it at this stage. I think he's just going, you know, I'm going to get the late game, I'm going to play it cool, and I'll pop off at the end, and I'll worry about it then. And to be honest, you just got to play your own game. You can't expect, ooh, big damage there coming from Tux there, doing a little bit of a miss.
Vilex wasn't expecting that damage from above to come through as much. That was a big trade. Loses 60 health on that.
He's going to be fine, though. He's going to shield up as best as he can.
Keolis finds another elimination for his third of the game. Of course, we're talking so much about who is going to be the eventual winner. As we said, the whole pack can change, and there is significant placement and earnings available, even for those that aren't in the top spot.
There's a lot of aggression here coming in on this build-off here, just on this mountain. Players finding each other, wanting to go in for the eliminations. Big damage received from Kilios there, and now he has to find a defensive strategy for himself. But Bizzle is still in the game, and he's still rocking it.
Yeah, History is beside him, and History certainly trying to get away from those stink bombs. Just hacked so much through with those stink bombs. Now look, dual pistols from the side. Somebody is trying to pick up anything that they can.
What's interesting about Ghost Bizzle right now, he hasn't had to rotate at all. He landed there, and he's still there to this day. It's just his favorite spot. He doesn't need to do anything. And look at his items because of it. He hasn't had to rotate. He hasn't had to use any of his healings. He's got the Rift to go to spare.
Looking to try and pick off Tyovsky. He's just using that compact SMG as much as possible now, raining through with the blue AR, but he hasn't quite found the pick. Bizzle gets dropped on, and Bizzle is going to get picked off. Bizzle ends up falling to History. He turned his back, and that surely is such a drastic end for Bizzle this early on.
Kinstar is still alive out there, and it worries me for Margin's future. It really does.
Well, we'll wait till it gets lower, because Hupek is going to try and pick one off in the air. Does get the spray down, and he got Norwood out of the air. Mitro picks up 72 hours. That unfortunately calls an end to 72 hours Solo's performance as Mitro continues. Jakos, our Polish winner, is still in there. Aiden is still in the left of your screen. You can see Boya in the middle of everything. There are so many contenders that could easily take the Victory Royale.
Very much so. We see Margin in the dead center of all this mess. Sinnoh's getting actually a bit stunk on there in the corner, but he's going to recover just fine. I don't think he's going to get any more pressure. And Margin's, everybody is already on this corner. This is going to be a hectic push towards that next circle, Stress. Everybody is already facing that direction. And
Margin's just peeking. He doesn't know that it's Vivid in front of him, but like that's a matchup that everybody would want to see. Margin against Vivid at this point, but it's impossible for people to really call a lot of these engagements. Now, Bowman trying to just pick anybody out of the sky that he can. As Storm Surge warning does kick in, but Bowman is very much safe with the amount of damage he has done. He's trying to spin up that minigun, just preemptively doing it to get anything he can, but now he's got to move.
Yep, and he's going to try and maintain as much high ground as possible. I think he has some backup options there, and he's going to try and dish out as much damage as he can at the very back, getting a little bit of pressure there. Will he have to use any of his movement options spare? I think he's just going to keep running it and build as much as he can. Good pressure with the minigun, though, forcing his opponents down there.
Great pressure. Here's Margin. This is the dangerous move that he has to traverse perfectly in order to keep his lead. Doesn't swap to the shotgun in enough time to pick up an elimination, but he finds safety for now. So did a lot of people, but we are down to 28. A lot of our contenders are still up in this game, and nobody has found that key elimination to turn this game into their points' favor.
Butt cheeks are clenching here, Stress. Very much so. As a Brit, I have tea in celebration after this if he manages to pull it off.
It definitely is not Margin's game. It is not a safe game for him at all, as he has to keep eliminations on top of it as well. Points leader, but only by 6, means it could be easy for Vinny to jump up. The player from the USA could very well end up taking this if he can get a few eliminations. Margin traversing upwards. Where is Vinny? I'm trying to track him down. We see he's using the balloon, single balloon strategy to try and get as much height in the late game. 40 builds is where he's at.
Margin making it.
Edit does get a lot of damage down, gets the elimination, actually picks up Jordan, one of the X2 twins, runs into another one. Margin has to stay alive if he wants the hope to actually stay in this at first, but he's taking storm damage as well. He's eliminated. Zexro gets him, and it's now all on Vinny. If Vinny can put up enough points, surely this has to be it. Vinny just needs to stay in for a victory royale, and then depending on the rest of the field, it all depends on how much the other players around him are scoring. I don't think we can call a clear winner at the end of this game.
Jarko's having that high ground, as we saw earlier on. He's been mastering it every game. I don't know how he gets up there so consistently all the time. And now taking pot shots at everybody that's blind.
That's Vinny! Vinny drops in on Jarkos, and Vinny needs to pick this one up. Vinny needs everything that he can to be able to stay through, but surely he has done enough to at least unseat Margin. It's all about the rest of the field. Vinny ends up dying. Vinny is gone out of this one. So that's Bizzle, Vinny, and Margin gone. Somebody could steal this from behind. Who have we got? Animal is here. Boyer is here. Madsen goes down. That was a double elimination pickup with 6 players left.
Oh, it's absolutely crazy. Who's up the very top? That's Zayt up the top with the high ground. He's playing it extra slow, playing it very safe. But that rocket launcher will change that situation with Shino doing some big damage onto Zayt.
4 players left, and this is all about climbing the rest of the standings. The battle for first has pretty much all been decided, and with 3 players left, it is all about final placements. Shinken drops down. Sinnoh ends up picking up 1, and Animal is going to win the game. The final victory royale of the solos.
Just as exciting as that as well, and I think we have the scoreboard up there.
I mean, look at these standings. I said it was only 3 points, and it looks closer than that when you have the numbers actually put together. Bizzle sliding down to 4th place there. Kinstar making his way into 3rd place at the end. Skype with another big game towards the end as well. So big changes again. I mean, Zayt made a big run towards the end, and look at that man. Their history in 9th place representing Brazil. Huge stuff for that region.
Great performances. We look at just outside the top 10. We've got big names in here. Funk Bomb, Vivid, Metro, all in the mix. And honestly, I think you see a lot of these names, the ones that maybe people don't know so much, players like Item. I think the longer tournaments go on, the more we see on the lead up, for instance, to the World Cup, I think we're going to see a lot of these players posting big results again and again. And this kind of experience is invaluable for them.
And one thing that I love as well, Zacubus, is the amount of different nationalities we have in that top 10.